Hey guys, welcome to episode 45, I think. I can't remember, of the weekly. 44, 44. Last week was 43. And with me, of course, our usual hosts, starting off with Mr. Juan Bagnell from Pocket Now. How's it going, man?
It's going well out on the West Coast. I've got my coffee. I'm sort of awake. We can talk about some tech.
All right, cool. And of course, we have Mr. Warren Bowman.
What's going on? Let's do this.
And we have Sam. Same damn time, same whatever you said.
Same Sam time, same Sam
Sam.
Sam is on TBS time.
Yeah, 5 minutes after the show starts. There we go. All right, cool, guys. We're let's kick things off on the show. We have a couple of uselesses of this week. The first one, actually, which is not on the list here, is Apple stated that the AirPods will not be actually not stated, but there are rumors that the AirPods will not be ready for launch, at least by Christmas, because they can't get it to work.
Well, so how? I mean, we're feeling pretty confident on these rumors, right? Like, we feel like if Apple, after having announced a product like this, were on track to deliver, that they would have said something by now. And I feel like in the next 2 weeks, if they don't say anything, well, that's Christmas, you know? So this is one I'm going to say. It's still a rumor. They could still show up, I guess. But it's one that I think we can feel pretty confident about.
It's useless. Forget the rumor, man. I'm cutting that rumor part out.
No, that's what I mean. Is like, there's every Christmas miracle possibility, right? But it doesn't seem very likely.
No, not in this case.
No, it's not going to happen on the holidays.
Any extra thoughts on that before we move to AT&T?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, all right, cool. AT&T, on the other hand, is our main useless winner of this week. They are going to refund $88 million in unauthorized charges to customers. So, Sam, better check. They charge customers $9.99 for no specific reason.
Wow.
They charged, yeah.
Yeah, so they'll be doing a refund for that, but
they credited my account last month, so I have a $15 credit after my bill.
So
it says here there are fun things like horoscopes, ringtones, love tips, and other fun facts from third-party companies, and they keep 35% of the charges. I wonder if this is something like some fools signed up for something, one of those phone things, and they just got caught up and they keep sending these texts and it lands on your bill.
There's no sign up for it. The system just automatically was charging people and is downright useless.
They didn't charge everyone, did they? They just charged like a
bunch of people.
Subset. That's
2.5 million customers.
That's quite a lot of customers.
Yeah.
And if it includes Sam, that's where we get really pissed. Before we would have been pissed. Now it is
really pissy.
So
this time it's personal.
So guys, can you show your
this time it's personal.
Everybody's smiling. You're supposed to be angry.
Sorry.
I remember back in the days when I used to have to check phone bills for companies, these erroneous random charges would kind of show up from these third parties out of nowhere, and they would just slap on an auto charge because they have some deal that it just slaps on that way, and you have to call them to get it removed and all this other stuff, and it can come from any sort of stupid like phone call or text message you replied yes to or whatever the hell. I've seen a lot of that stuff happen. Usually, AT&T is supposed to be kind of on top of those things, and they're supposed to be on top of like finding those things. But I know that it's also not a very easy task to obtain. I'm not giving him an excuse for it, but I'm just like, I've seen these things happen before. I think this is the most recently that I've heard it happen in a long time though.
Well,
so I think at some point they had this stuff kind of contained.
Well, they have the tag for uselessness of the week. Now, moving on to some sad news, at least for U.S. customers, Samsung will be sending out a Death Note. Get it? Death Note anime? Come on, people.
Wait. So the joke was, I thought they'd already sent out the Death Note.
Oh God, that's awful.
Right?
So Samsung will be sending out an update to basically break the Note 7 by not letting it charge. And AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint will participate, except Verizon. Verizon says that they will not do that, especially when customers do not have another device to pick up. So you know what? For once, because I love the Note 7 so much, yay to Verizon. But
no, what are you talking about? This is a consumer safety issue, and Verizon's like, oh no, we're not going to do it because we can't replace the phones for free.
Well, what was Verizon?
No, send that out. Did it bring the ass into the store to get the phone swapped out? At that point, that's a dumbass move on Verizon for not doing that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, now in Verizon,
I
I thought Verizon's statement on this was that they weren't gonna do it right before the holidays.
Yeah, it's right before the holidays.
They would be participating
after the holidays. That's their. So you have to.
Why not do it on the holidays? I don't get this. This is like prime consumer buying time. Like, what is stopping?
Get them in the store. Oh, you need to get a new phone. Well, you know what? With your new phone, you'll probably need a new case and some new batteries and a memory card.
And look, even though your phone doesn't have a replaceable battery, what is this? A replaceable battery?
No.
Well, you have to get it after it's prime traveling season. Not everybody's flying by plane or by train. You know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Even if you're traveling, even if you're flying with a Note 7, you can't fly with it.
Right.
So why have the phone? Why?
Allegedly you can't fly with it. Doesn't mean you can sit there and you tell everybody what type of phone you got. And they're not walking around scanning people for Note 7s. So there you go.
Are you sure, Word? Are you sure they're not scanning?
Well. Anyway, the Note 7 will be coming to its life cycle end with its death note, and that will bring the revival of our next topic, the Samsung Galaxy S8. Rumors abound with this device, and it seems.
Are we still in uselessness territory? Is that why you're putting it in right now?
No, it's just right there. The uselessness was AT&T.
I feel like, you know, from the start of the show to the Note, the way that this is going down could be another baby uselessness, and that some of the S8 rumors could also point to some baby.
Yeah. The one rumor, I mean, but again, there are multiple rumors. It's all rumors. One rumor is that Samsung is going to get rid of the headphone jack and follow Apple's suit and use USB Type-C.
I don't think that's a rumor. I think that's fact.
I think that's going to be real.
I hope not, but that's just me hoping.
I'm hoping not as well.
They'll make up a stupid reason, but and then they'll just get called out for it. But that's just the way it is.
But the other rumor is that the Harman is now handling the audio. So I'm hoping for just hope.
Well, the problem is always going to be Bluetooth headsets, right? That's always going to be the problem. When you have wireless Bluetooth headsets, you're now having to charge two separate devices. You either get a dongle that lets you put your 3.5 millimeter in along with your USB Type-C. It basically clutters everything, and it's aesthetically, it's ridiculous. And I think Apple is running into the same issue, and people are laughing at Apple. The way you have to plug in a USB Type-C dongle and then plug in your charger and then plug in your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. It makes the thing look ridiculous. Samsung shouldn't go that route. It will be really stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
the only thing I would say, if Samsung goes that route, if they include a low-cost, effective pair of Bluetooth earbuds to go with it within the package, then I can give them props for that, because at least they're adding something to the consumer to say, hey, well, you can go wireless and you can still charge and listen to music at the same time.
They're just gonna package it with the what's that wireless headphone that they have?
Icon X.
The Icon X, yeah, that's it.
No, they won't package it with that.
No, that's way too.
Or a version of it. Or
a version, a stripped down version without the health features, pretty much. Icon X is $199, right? A stripped down version will be $150, $100.
So I'm
talking about something like that. I'm talking about that Chinese knockoff $29.99 that you see on
like
Amazon.
An MPOW, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that. That's what they're gonna put in. That's what they'll put inside the box. And if they do that, that'd be interesting to at least that. Well, at least that they answer, well, you can charge and listen to music at the same time. And usually, I mean, we're at the point where battery life on these headphones are a lot longer than what they used to be.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
no, they're not. No,
yeah, I think
except yours. Except yours.
No, mine is better than the Icon X. The Icon X is literally an hour and a half Okay, mine's about 2.5 hours with the braggies, and I'm talking about the braggy.
No. The Icon X is 1.5 hours when it's tethered to your device.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about it being tethered to the device to get audio from the device.
On its own, it's 3 hours.
We're talking about a device using Bluetooth headsets, so we're talking about tethering, man. Come on, let's get back on the subject.
Yeah, so if you turn them on and you don't do anything with them and you don't connect them to a phone, you're golden. That's really your problem.
You use them as a paperweight.
No.
It's
You
totally
can
awesome.
listen to music on them with them, just as long as it's
No. If you don't listen to music on them, I think the battery life is like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, if you're having problems with battery life, then that's your fix. Just don't listen to music.
Can we just say that Sam's battery life with Bluetooth sucks and everybody else is normal? I mean, I'm just saying everybody else doesn't have this problem.
To Sam's point, and actually Jaime brought this up when we were at IFA. There is actually one interesting thing that we're sort of missing on all of these truly wireless earbud solutions. Like Jabra has the same problem. Their battery life is in the sub 3 hour category, and I know very few people who can make it through a marathon in sub 3 hours. So we're talking about these, sports, active, workout, runners, as being prime candidates for this type of tech. And there are probably people who are running half marathons who would be able to burn the battery on these before they were finished with that particular activity. So, I mean, I know that's a use case scenario, and a lot of consumers aren't really looking at that for that. But, we have problems when we have multiple devices to charge, and some of them actually don't survive a few of these usage models that would make a lot of sense for a truly wireless experience. Getting back to the Galaxy S8, I've been a little torn on this announcement about losing the headphone jack, because Samsung actually hasn't been a champion of good audio.
No.
I think the high watermark for them was last year when we got the Exynos version of the Samsung of the Galaxy here in the United States. We actually got better audio than we did this year back on Qualcomm. So I think the thing that really pisses me off, though, is the notion of buying what will ostensibly be probably one of the most expensive phones of the year. The Galaxy S8 is going to be a premium device.
Yeah.
And then still requiring the user, like if I have to go through USB-C and I want a good headphone audio experience, that I have to also buy expensive headphones that have their own built-in signal processing hardware.
AKA blue microphones like Warren has there.
Well, exactly. And that Samsung actually hasn't had the best track record for playing nice with USB-C. Like if I plug in a USB DAC to a Galaxy smartphone, most of them don't work.
Yeah.
And so we're in the same territory we were that pissed me off with the Bolt. The Bolt came with USB-C headphones, but they're not true USB audio devices. They don't work with other USB-C phones. They don't work on the Thunderbolt port on my laptop. They are unique to the Bolt. And if I lose them, I have to get something that works with USB-C, and I'm probably just going to buy more Bolt headphones, but those headphones don't work with anything else. So I can't move those headphones to another device. That's not a standard. That's not the way to go about promoting USB-C audio. It is another form of lock-in. It's another form of accessory lock-in. And if Samsung goes down this path, then I feel like it's going to be pretty clear. Like I should be recommending other manufacturers, especially for people who do actually enjoy listening to audio on their devices.
I the problem is Samsung goes on this path, other companies might go the same way. Wherever Samsung goes, we know the Huawei's the world.
Everybody has already, but most people have already switched to having devices like this. Samsung is actually the last person, if you think about it, right? Oh, no, one of the last.
So like if Samsung goes this path, then it's an opportunity for other companies to differentiate. I'm very disappointed in HTC with the Bolt. HTC was the high watermark for mobile audio. The HTC 10 is still a phenomenal option in that regard. And if you're on Sprint, I would highly recommend just picking up an HTC 10 over the Bolt. In every respect other than LTE performance, the HTC 10 is a much better phone if you were thinking about going with an HTC. But we can look at phones like the V20. If Samsung goes headphone jackless for the S8, it's an opportunity for LG to really sell what makes that product unique. And we're hoping that the G6 will be something like a V20 Mini this year, which is not what we got with the G5. The G5 sucks. But we could see some difference like that. In manufacturers like Huawei, for example, like they picked up their game this year with microphones. There's every opportunity for them to look at the market. They've made jokes about Samsung removing the headphone jack, and the Mate 9 headphone audio performance is pretty lame, but that's an opportunity for them to do something better next year on the P10 and the Mate 10.
Okay. Well, besides our, half of the team anger of the lack of headphones, there's some other cool stuff that the Galaxy S8 will have. One is that they might go with, and most likely I think they will, since the rumors that the home button is going away, with the Qualcomm ultrasonic fingerprint sensor that basically uses the screen as your fingerprint scanner, which
ultrasonic.
Yeah, because supposedly it will give you
Time Lord technology.
It will give you better detail in fingerprint because it actually maps out the grooves using ultrasonic frequencies on your fingerprint. So it is more secure because it gives you a more detailed mapping of your fingerprint. But anyway, you could just press.
Would it give me finger cancer?
We already have all that already, man. The other thing is also that it will be coming with a Super AMOLED display with RGB matrix, so better colors, which would be good for VR on mobile devices, and also, like you say, on that HDR level type plane. And the screen will be wraparound, like the
true wraparound,
like the what do you call that? What's that device again? The Mi Mix, the Zome Mi Mix, which is almost a edge-to-edge display, but this will be edge-to-edge and wraparound display from Samsung. So it looks like to Juan's point, this is going to be a very expensive, or at least a very premium device.
Yeah, I gotta say, one of the rumors that I am most excited about is to see Samsung return to an AMOLED screen with an RGB stripe as opposed to a pen tile matrix.
Yeah.
We had all those rumors that maybe they would be going with a 4K display. If we can't get that, then having a better sub-pixel density would be an amazing consolation prize and hopefully drive the industry into a more positive direction there. I know even with the Quad HD resolution, when you fire up an AMOLED screen, you still get a very odd screen door moire, pixelated experience on VR. So going RGB stripe would be a very beneficial move.
For VR, but I mean, there's a lot of 4K content that you can use or you can capture with the device. A 4K screen will be a big deal as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. I still want a 4K display. What I'm saying is, if I can't get one, at least improving the subpixel matrix is a benefit. It's not like we're just going to have the same screens we had this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a nice perk. It's the consolation prize. It's not what I really want.
Yeah. I hear you. Because I'm always frustrated with the fact that you can do 4K on these devices, and then all of a sudden you can't, see the actual true 4K on your device itself. You have to basically transfer it to something else. It's just
Use your TV, man. It's better to watch 4K on the TV.
Oh yeah, yes it is.
See, there we go. 4K HDR, Kevin. 4K.
But I still want it on my phone.
Just saying. All right, let's move on to T-Mobile and T-Mobile Digits. T-Mobile announced this week that they're going to free up and open up your cell phone number by a new program called Digits. If you're a T-Mobile customer, you can sign up. Now, there is a uselessness to this also, because during the sign-up process, their website was showing people's numbers out there until they took it down. So,
so they were forcing them to get a virtual number.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is the description of Digits here. Digits is a new program that not only allows you to tie one phone number up to 5 devices, your smartphone, smartwatch, computer, and cell-enabled tablet, but also put up to 5 numbers on one phone. So you can combine work and personal onto one device. Pretty nice. Sounds similar to AT&T's number sync in a sense. I'm not sure how in-depth number sync went, but any thoughts on this? Warren, want to chime in?
Yeah, it's interesting. Similar to AT&T's number sync. This is actually on Project 5 with Hangouts. You're able to kind of do this as well too. I think it's a feature that I don't think everyone's going to really utilize as much, but it's nice for those that may want to be able.
People like us.
Yeah, people like us will use it, but then I think other people that will use it may want to just be able to text from a different location, different device, and that's going to be the main thing that they use it for. Beyond that, I think it's a nice feature to have, but like I said, I think it's going to be pretty niche on who actually implements it properly.
I think it's really going to be for people who get LTE on multiple devices. So mostly tablet users who get LTE would probably benefit more from this. If they start allowing you to get your calls on your tablet, because then you can have the same. You can send texts from your tablet to take calls on your tablet. Put your phone down and pick up a tablet when you're in the house, or put your phone down and put your tablet down and only use your LTE-enabled smartwatch on the go. So stuff like that would definitely be what this new T-Mobile service would be great for, but. I don't see anyone really using it on AT&T. I don't even hear a lot of people.
Well, AT&T didn't publicize it properly. Online, T-Mobile does a good job on hyping stuff, man. They are hype masters. So,
yeah, but but who would use this apart from those situations that I've already mentioned, like especially the feature where you have multiple numbers on one phone.
Well, I mean, that is more for the business customer.
Yeah, if you're not a business customer, you're not going to really use that.
Yeah, but a lot of people have a phone and a tablet because all these companies have forced them to get a phone and a tablet.
They're giving them away, man. They're giving them away. I got a call. They're waiting to get me on the SUS. I'm like, no.
But I think T-Mobile will probably get more people just because they know how to hype these kind of things up. So there's that. Anything you want to add, Juan?
I was just gonna say I'm just hoping and all that. I'm just hoping.
Wow, bigly. That's a bigly word right there.
Yeah, that is. That's with a fair degree of truthiness. No, I'm just hoping that T-Mobile will actually find because not just the hype of it, but will actually find ways to express this to consumers. It's one of those things like I talk about Google Voice and why I liked it. And a lot of people would go like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat. I can see why you would want to do that. But that's not for me. And then the second you also bring up another feature like, oh, yeah, and I can text from any web browser I want. Or like, oh, well, that would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? It's not just like we're hyping up this. You can have up to 5 numbers on your phone. I can see people rolling their eyes. But it really explaining why number portability would be beneficial. That's what I'm hoping T-Mobile can get across.
Well, if the hype kings can't do it, then no one can.
Yeah, no joke. But it makes me sad that services like Google Voice have sort of been withering when even for people who aren't like us, wouldn't have to manage some of these like multiple SIM card situations. It's still like a really cool service, and it's sad that Google hasn't done anything with it. So it's T-Mobile's turn to try something fresh.
Yeah, this one is not in the list of comments here, but just to
Kyle, we are on it. Could you ban this idiot named what's his name again? Razhan? Thank you.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's fun.
It's too early in a Saturday for hate, man. Wait till at least 5:30. Wait till like 5:30 before you start hating.
I'm almost out of coffee. I can't deal with this.
He's gone. Okay, back to, I was going to say, it's not on the list of topics here, but Pebble was officially bought by Fitbit for $40 million, which is kind of sad not for what Juan would consider sad. Mine is the fact that they were valued at $700 million last year.
Oh, no, you can add Juan to, I mean, like, when I heard 40 million, I was thinking like, damn, if that's all it took, could we have like just done a fundraising campaign? But make them like a publicly owned company.
And that's the issue I've always had with people trying to use Kickstarter and those kind of platforms as business plans, as business models.
And who did it best? Who did it best?
Don't even get me there.
Who did
Oculus Rift. Motherfuckers.
I was waiting all week for this.
No, they did it right. They did it right because once they figured it out, the guys at Oculus are smart. I'll give it to them in a business sense. They are smart. Dude, I'm not gonna say they're not smart people because they realize that we don't have a business plan. Someone is coming in to buy.
What the hell is going on?
What kind kind of dance is that one?
Somebody record and capture that and meme that.
Thundery, you never go full Muppet, man.
No, he went full Muppet. He went full Muppet.
Because Sam is saying that I was right from 2 years ago. I said
I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying they did the right thing.
I think I hurt myself again.
There's a difference between being smart and doing the right thing. They were smart. I still think they didn't do the right thing for the people who donated to them. But they were smart in realizing that is not a viable business plan. That when someone comes in with the billions, you take it and you run. Pebble didn't get that. They thought they had a business plan. And 700 million last year, they should have taken it and they should have ran. 40 million, I say they should take it and run, because at the end of the day, it's only going to keep going down. The market is shrinking for them, and they're not a big footprint on the overall market. The people who bought them account for 70% of the smartwatch or fitness band markets. So,
and here's the sad part is that they're not buying the debt. They're not picking up the debt of the company. They're going to sell assets to pay for the debt of Pebble.
Oh God, that's so ugly.
Yeah. So I mean, Fitbit went in this pure business and very clinical in getting the things they needed to get from Pebble. To make sure that Fitbit now moves, expands its market. Like they said, maybe they have the right code to crack the smartwatch itself. So, Fitbit has cracked the fitness band.
I think the e-ink technology might probably be the big thing that they want to call e-ink on there.
Exactly. So Fitbit has said, definitely for them, it's shrewd business, but it's quality business. And as you pointed out, and as I said, I was right from Oculus that they should have sold last year and they didn't. But it's it's the price of the business.
But I'm gonna add to the uselessness that this deal in carving up the company is maybe one of the most reprehensible ways that I've seen a company treat their user base. In that, I was under the impression that Fitbit was being sold to. That Pebble was being sold to Fitbit. But Pebble is selling assets of the company and sort of most of the IP of the company and then shutting the company down, which negates both Fitbit and Pebble of any warranty support, of any ability to process refunds. If your refund wasn't processed before the 7th, then you will not be able to return the product. And I feel if you bought a Pebble 2, that you have a very real concern, and I think you have a very cogent argument for returning your watch, knowing that it's not going to be supported to the same extent that you thought it might have been when the company was a solvent company. Yeah. And now you can't do that. You just have to hope that the watch and the software will last long enough for it to be sort of a reasonable purchase. And that's never a good position to be in the world of tech, to just hope that stuff will work the way that it's supposed to.
You're basically dependent on enthusiast coders to continue to basically support this device, because the company would not exist after this. So, at the end of the day, once again, clear indication that they did not have a viable business plan. If you can't support people who buy your products, then sorry, you did not have a business. You were just a tinkerer who came up with something and sold a bunch of it.
Yeah. And for all of our criticisms of how they were launching products, I think this was definitely further the last piece of evidence we needed that they never got beyond that Kickstarter mentality.
No, definitely. Well, looking at a company who's moving away from Kickstarter to the next level, Pokemon Go will now have Pokestops everywhere. 7,800 Starbucks have become Pokestops, and every Sprint store is. So if you're a Pokemon player, you have Pokestops and Pokegyms you can go into. And so anyone care to chime in on this? I
think I'm too old for this to matter to me. I really am hoping that I'm too old for this to matter.
I'll be Riggs, you be Murtaugh.
Well, here's the thing. That's nice and dandy if people are even still playing the damn game.
I mean, I was seeing someone. One of my friends is in Japan right now, and he was like, "Man, people are still roving the streets doing the Pokemon Go." So
maybe it's moved from.
Well, they probably have mixed up the seating of Pokemon in better locations around there, and plus they have a much smaller land space to get around. So if they want to get something rare, it doesn't take that long to go from one side of the place to another to get that. Unlike in the United States, where
they've got really fast trains that. don't have
and that remember, Pokemon is a pastime in Japan. That's a thing there. Like it's a thing here, but it's a much bigger thing over there than it is here. So I understand why that's happening.
And I think that there's probably less stigma on So I feel like a creeper when I'm shooting camera reviews on phones, let alone if I were really like out there walking around playing Pokemon Go by myself, that there's a stigma here in the United States to that, like you're an adult, you should like have a tie on or something. And I don't feel that there's that same kind of stigma. Like you can be a bigger fan of animation. You can be a bigger fan of childish video game properties. Like they don't make media just for kids the same way that we sort of have that expectation here. So I feel like Pokemon has longer legs in Japan than it does here in the United States.
Yeah, I think that I actually agree with that in somewhat, but in some ways we in the United States have to spin stigmas around and make it not seem that way, even though honestly all new forms of media is just nerd culture. If people criticize people for watching wrestling, people for watching, playing Pokemon and stuff like that, but the first people in line to see the new Captain America movie, or the first person in line to see the X-Men movie and brag all about it. And I'm just like, that's all nerd inky culture, but it's not spun that way, because if you do, then people have the stigma.
I think we had this conversation a bit ago, right? Where nerd culture has been so normalized that everyone who basically puts on tight pants, a flannel shirt, and has a beard now is, oh, I'm the new geek. Nah, it's just one of those things. It's like,
no, you're from Williamsburg. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, don't forget you have to ask from Williamsburg as well.
No, you're just a hipster and mostly a poser.
Okay, let's move on.
But the thing going back to this is like, if they have probably lost so much of the fan base there. I don't know how much of this is going to matter for them. They probably still have the hardcore people still playing around with it and getting people to play at Starbucks. Maybe they'll do something other than, I'll see something else other than fucking MacBooks there. It'd be pretty nice. But beyond that, the Pokemon, the Niantic's got to figure out how to re-energize the fan base again, let alone worrying about making more Pokestops.
Well, we'll see. Speaking of Nintendo, who's the other company that kind of owns Pokemon but makes no money off it, at least Pokemon Go. Super Mario Run lands on iOS December 15th. Now, two things here. Nintendo has said iOS is the platform they care about, and Android, we don't know when that's going to hit. And Super Mario Run was showcased on Jimmy Fallon. Looked cool, but like Warren said, it's not coming to Android, so I'm actually
and there are some caveats to it as well. You cannot use it while you're offline, so keep that in mind. They're afraid of piracy.
No one's going to care about. iOS is a great way to demo your game until you actually want to make money and get it out there. Is want to put it on a fucking Android. That's just the way it works. How did Instagram get bigger? They stuck to iOS for so long, but the second that they were looking for that Facebook buyout, that Android app hit, and that thing blew up beyond proportions at that point. So every time I hear one of these apps do these things, I just get to a point of like, iOS only. Really? All right. So no one's going to care about your game for a while.
I got it. You know what's really sad? I mean, because I'm not as big a gamer as I used to be, but this has been maybe the worst year for Nintendo for my wife.
Really?
She got really excited about the idea of a Super Mario running. Super Mario is her jam. She loves Q*bert. She loves some old killer Atari games, and then like one of her de-stressors is kicking back on a Nintendo emulator and playing classic Mario. She loves that game. The only other game I can get her to play and like with me is like Street Fighter 2. She's not like a hardcore gamer, but those are her jams. So she was super excited about like a Super Mario Runner game, and then it was iOS only, and it just kind of deflated. It's like, oh, but I don't. She doesn't like her iPhone. She wants that for Android. Combine that with the NES Classic debacle, and my wife could not be any more sour. Like, this was going to be fun Christmassy stuff. We could get an NES Classic, and it could be affordable.
For my nephews,
Oh, let's not get into the NES Classic.
Let's get into it. Let us get into it, because
that's a whole nother bag of epic fail.
Yeah, but just as all of this stuff like going down like one after the other for someone who is an amazing Mario fan. She is a total Mario fan. Like she couldn't be less enthused right now, and that's a bad position for an emotional purchase like an NES Classic or wanting to play a game on your phone. Like you want people to feel like they're excited about this stuff.
Before we continue, to the very useless people who are commenting and putting up hate speech, let me remind you that you are making money for us by watching this. So keep watching. Just
thanks for the check,
and we'll keep banning you. That's fine. You think you want to get pissed? Hey, it's all right.
And they're all unique hits because they're coming in from different accounts as we block them.
That is actually pretty damn cool. So yeah,
thanks.
There you go.
I'll drink to that.
Hey, I cheer stupidity when it makes me money. Go for it.
Never missed an opportunity to watch live action stupid. I think everybody's seen me post that on Facebook.
So
you learn something.
The NES Classic is going to be supposedly available at Best Buy on the 20th.
Lies. Anyways,
lies.
Lies.
It's fine
Best
if it
Buy
is,
is
but
going to be responsible for a Christmas stampede. That's what I'm saying.
It's fine if it is, but I doubt that it's going to be really available. I think it's going to be another limited production run. So each Best Buy is going to get 5, and then like, oh, okay, you can pre-order it or something. And you're like, I don't want to.
This is how bad
it's overpriced ROM emulator. It's a fucking overpriced ROM emulator. That people are only reason that you can't upgrade.
Overpriced. It's $60.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's
that's not overpriced.
Yeah, go find ROM emulators that are cheaper than that because they're out there.
No, but I mean, like it is one of those things where
you
being someone
that you can't flat out upgrade.
But being one of those people who prefers paying for content that he likes, you're absolutely right, Warren. 60 is pricey. But all of the years that I've been playing on free emulators, like I kind of feel like
no, I would have bought the damn thing too because it's got Mario 3 on it. So yeah, I'm gonna go buy it. I'm gonna go buy a damn thing. It's got Mario 3 and Zelda.
Okay. There's a lot of things that they did wrong with this whole thing. Forget
but beyond that,
forget the shortage. Do you know how short that cord is?
Yeah,
it's not wireless. I mean, like Nintendo has. I mean,
they modeled the original Famicom off of it.
No, but even the controller
cable was that short. That was like if you look up the history of the NES, the reason they redesigned it was to make it look more like a VCR, and then he actually added a cable longer because the research showed that Americans stood further away from the TV than they do in Japan, which have smaller apartments, so they were able to have a smaller cable. And the cable was attached, remember, built into the actual Famicom itself. That's why it existed. Some reason, somehow, that research apparently got lost.
Oh my God, Nintendo. Okay,
so let's not get into the fact that their whole stance on like wanting to take your money when you're actually playing games and streaming them and shit like that. And we don't have to.
Yeah, let's move on. But you know what? It seems just to point, almost every single topic has had a uselessness attached to it so far.
It's the Christmas season, man. Uselessness abounds. What can I say?
So the next one is Qualcomm chipsets will be running Windows 10 fully starting next year, even though we thought it did, but I guess it didn't because then it was Windows RT. Yeah. So Windows 10 has been shown on Qualcomm chipset. There's a demo this week. It showed the ARM-based chipsets, and it was running Windows 10. They showed Photoshop running on there, and some people are talking about this is the Surface phone. This is just the Surface phone, or this is just the fact they can make cheaper tablets. That's what I think. So, what do you guys think about this?
Well, I'm curious. Does that mean that former RT devices can now be upgraded to Windows 10? Because that would breathe new life into it. Yeah,
see, this is why we have Sam in here. Once in a while, he produces gems.
What did he say? I don't usually pay attention to what he's saying. So what did he say?
You know what? Warren, I'm going to find you.
I missed it. What was he trying? Talking about upgrading. I missed the whole. I literally did miss
former RT devices, like the Nokia RT device and the former.
Oh shit! Where is that thing? Where is that thing?
I mean, it definitely is possible. He says, need them Westworld tablets. Yeah, definitely need those Westworld tablets, man.
I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil.
Oh my God. He's the only one here who hasn't seen Westworld.
This is.
Have you finished Westworld, Juan?
No, I haven't.
Is it on Netflix?
Juan, what's your address for it? Could you just send me a email? I mean, a message with your address. I'm at this really interesting site called Shit Senders. I'm gonna try that.
Okay. Moving on to the next thing from Microsoft is, I mean, like, just to the point of Windows 10, we'll see maybe, you know, this is the Surface phone, but maybe just as a push for cheaper Windows-based tablets.
They're gonna put out a Windows 10 phone, and it's literally gonna be like from that 80s show. It's like, here's a portable phone, and here's Windows 10 on it, and it's gonna be this ugly looking thing with no custom UI or anything with it. That's what they're going to present to us. It's going to be like, here's your Surface phone. And everyone goes, man.
I don't know. I don't think the Surface phone is going to happen. I
hope it doesn't at this point. It doesn't at this point.
Yeah, especially the way Microsoft is going with actually making their own hardware these days.
I mean, if it happens, they should not even call it a phone. They should just call it another type of Surface device.
How about this? A pocket PC.
Oh snap! You know what? That might be it.
What is
PPC
it?
2017. I'm on it.
Yeah. So
get Palm back involved. You make a little pocket PC. Bring the trio back.
Hey, Juan, you're about to say something. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So I mean, like, so for all of this, whether or not we get a Surface phone, it's the same problem that we've had from Microsoft consistently. Is they keep doing this like stop-start thing with their mobile strategy. And like it takes us years to get.
Why are you reminding us?
Well, no, but the thing that I want to get to though is there are all these opportunities. One, like you were saying, to shake up the low cost segment. You know, you don't need ARM, you don't need x86 chipsets for more portable devices. Like I've got a Lenovo Yoga Book over there, which could probably be doing a little bit better on ARM hardware when it comes to price to performance.
Yeah.
But just this notion of being able to emulate as well as we've seen so far is really compelling. There's just sort of the geek side of it, where even if we don't necessarily get an immediate consumer practical application for this, just the fact that they've made this much progress in that demo, a very controlled demo. I mean, very limited and controlled demo that they showed off. But even that was still impressive to see, because we've always had this notion that a full operating system requires an x86 hardware, and that ARM hardware is now kind of actually caught up to what we would consider more desktop or laptop grade solutions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Moving from that to virtual reality. Microsoft is looking like 2017 is the year Microsoft really wants to push VR, or in their sense, mixed reality. So they showcased a bunch of headsets initially. That will be about $300. They've given the spec requirements for those headsets to push VR, but also had an interesting video in the article from Engadget about mixed reality experience. And if you look at the video, it's a wireless VR headset that has AR capabilities and sensors similar to that of the Vive, just from the picture. So
hold on, I just want to pause and mention one thing. What the fuck is mixed reality? Why are they trying to coin new phrases?
It makes no damn sense. It's augmented reality, basically.
No, I think basically what they're referring to mixed reality is the fact that this device does both. Literally,
it's VR
and AR.
Yeah. It's VR.
I agree. I think if you're going to block someone's eyes, we call that virtual reality. And if you're going to have sort of an open visual experience where you're changing the reality that someone is immediately experiencing, we can call that augmenting reality.
And we don't need something on my face, and it's something there in the corner, and it's like floating, and it ain't real, and it's virtual. That's virtual. Let's just
and we don't need to have these like. But because, you know, like you say HoloLens and like, oh, you're interacting with holograms. Like, no, I'm not. Holographic technology is its own thing. This is an augmented reality.
think, is Tupac gonna pop up in front of me when I put this on? Like that's the question. If it ain't that, then it's VR. Sorry to just derail. I just heard Mixer. I was like, this is one of those Microsoft things again that needs to be called out.
I hear you. But it looks like they're doing VR for a big push next year, which is nice. I mean.
Well, I think what's really amazing is the fact that it's fully contained. That's what Microsoft is really pushing these days, right? They're pushing a fully contained solution versus everyone else right now that you have to plug into some sort of PC device or PC backpack or laptop or something in order for you to get the full experience. Or actually, in order for you to get anything done whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So I think that if they can deliver that next year, that might actually kind of disrupt the market, like totally push what Facebook is doing with Oculus and push what HTC is doing with the Vive to
I don't think maybe it may push, but the one thing that has happened is that they've all formed a VR alliance: Oculus, yes. Vive, Microsoft. Mm-hmm. So at least we know that all the companies are on the same page.
There'll be some standards.
Yeah, which we don't have for USB Type-C yet, but
which was a worry when we had the Vive and Oculus on Steam, right? There were some games that were just purely you can't get them anywhere except for the Oculus Store, and then there were some games that work for Oculus but not for Vive on Steam. Some games that work for Vive but not really on Oculus. If they can standardize it, especially now that Oculus has come out with its 3D touch thingy or its touch controls.
Touch controller.
Yeah. Then it gets a little better for everyone.
I will have to say I prefer the Air controller over Vives after using it more. It feels just more ergonomic. So when you take your hands off, because of the ring, it's still in your hands. Unlike the Oculus, where you feel like you're going to drop it, and it was cool playing football with it. I felt like I was Tom Brady, and I saw Gronk running down. It was just
you didn't see Gronk running down.
That's right. Somebody was carted off the field. My bad.
Yeah. Probably you saw Gronk on the sideline eating a sandwich. That's what you saw. Edelman caught the ball.
Yeah. And then other news, Hulu has announced profiles to their account system. So you can now have different user profiles there. So if there are multiple people on a Hulu account, just like how Netflix has that, you don't have to be bothered by seeing people's terrible watching habits.
Yeah, like people who watch very interesting anime selections.
What? Yeah. Sephiroth of the End is a nice anime. Go ahead.
That's what that is. It's an anime. Okay, just making sure.
Well, that's going to left field.
I have nothing to add to that stage of the conversation.
No, it's kind of funny because every time I try to watch what's it called, The Daily Show, I'm like, why is it like, do you want to watch this again or you want to continue watching this? I'm like, no, I want to watch The Daily Show. But yeah. We keep going back and forth on our accounts.
Hey, it's all right, man. It is what it is. I think that is pretty much it for news. We kind of went through the news fast this week.
No, she stayed on time.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about quickly before we go?
Too many rants.
No, I mean, it was a uselessness for almost everything in here, even the Hulu accounts.
I mean, I gotta say, like 2016 definitely has sort of like a bummer flavor for wrapping everything
the song?
up.
Did you see that 2016 song by those two ladies with the guitar? Oh, I gotta find it for you and send it to you.
Oh Lord!
I thought you were about to mention the YouTube Rewind thing, which it had more memes that were not started on YouTube than the actual content. There was more memes and TV stars that weren't started on YouTube, which was funny.
But YouTube Rewind really showcased one thing, and maybe we should talk about this a little bit because a lot of people have talked about this. Barnacles, PewDiePie, about how YouTube trending is basically paid content, right?
Yeah.
And the most popular video on YouTube this year was what's the late night show host with
Trevor Noah?
Not Trevor Noah, with Chewbacca Mom. The British guy with Chewbacca Mom when he sings along.
The Late Show.
Oh, yeah, the Late Show.
Yeah.
Craig Ferguson. No,
not Craig.
It was Corden.
Yes, that's correct. But it goes to show, because if you go on YouTube now, if you go into trending,
Yeah, I don't touch that area, but yeah.
But it's sad that YouTube is not about us anymore. It's not about the content we make. It's about the marketing piece. I mean, no, I get it. I get the business aspect, but their layout does not do a good job at actually promoting what they have internally to make more financial revenue for them. It's like they've gone on a Facebook model of saying, just pay us.
Yeah, but
because they're trying to be like a Netflix now. They're trying to be a destination in which people watch premium content on. It ain't the backbone of things is always going to be user generated content, but their big dollars come from everything else, and they're going to promote that in a way and promote YouTubers that kind of connect to those type of things.
I get it. Then you know what, to me if that's the case, the fault is in their design layout. Their design layout is very bad for sustaining their core and even driving their core towards their main business. Because whenever somebody goes to YouTube, all I see is recommended, and all I see is Jimmy Kimmel, Conan, Jimmy Kimmel,
but that's
Spider-Man.
I think it's based off of a lot of things that you've watched as well, right? Because they try to make the suggestions based on your interests.
Yeah, but
no. Then Smallville. It's not even The Flash. Smallville. When last did I watch Smallville? Smallville again.
Yeah, it's showing where they're going towards a little bit different. It's kind of pushing YouTubers back. They definitely changed some algorithms around now, which I think some of the changes has actually kind of probably benefited some smaller channels a little bit more so than it had in the past, where the likes and commenting and stuff like that and shares are getting a little bit more weight to them than they had before. Because I'm seeing the channels that are complaining, and I'm like, it's like those drama channels and those other other not the most positive content on YouTube channels that are complaining about this, and it's like, oh no, it looks like they found a way to finally affect those guys. So now that's why they're complaining. But it's going to be forever this. They're forever going to float this algorithm around as many times as they can to gear to whatever they think the trend is going to be. So if they think the trends are going to go in this direction and you are on that side, well, that year you're going to benefit from that. If the trends change at one point, well, you might not benefit from that. It's going to head towards the other side where they'll benefit. So
I think they need to change the UI where it significantly shows the 3 segments that they want you to show in one page: my home, trending, and subscriptions. Because if I come in and I don't see, if I subscribe to somebody, then what's the point? I might as well just search for it at this point.
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole nother bug of them about people getting unsubscribed out of nowhere. And every time people upload videos, you see a ton of subscribers drop, and people get unsubbed and didn't do that personally themselves, or you don't even see it go through the subscription feed either, which is also another effect. And then they changed the fact that they don't automatically turn on the email and notifications when new subscribers subscribe for the first time now. It's like literally.
Oh, or even as a subscriber, when someone uploads a video, I don't get it until probably hours later.
Yeah, but this is also the reason why so many people they push their Twitter and Instagram's accounts so much, because that's pretty much the only way people can be notified. Mm-hmm. Facebook, you have to kind of pay to see those you pay for your content to essentially be seen on the Facebook graph. That's why you see nobody really in social media at all really promote Facebook pages unless they're like a business or it's a part of Hollywood or some shit like that. Everyone else promotes off of Twitter. It's one of the reasons I think why Twitter's still around and surviving is because that's the free way for people to promote to their audience. Say, hey, I got a new video up, so they'll know that something is up. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Instagram as well too. And it's just Hulu's going. I mean, excuse me, Hulu. YouTube is going through its growth spurts and trying to figure out how to be both a user-generated content site, but then also be some type of mainstream as well too. And they're trying to meld the two together as best they possibly can. And they might not succeed with it. I remember other places have tried this hybrid model and it hasn't worked out as well for them. And at least YouTube has somewhat figured out how to like a little bit of this to work, but it might not work in the end. And maybe they'll eventually just separate the two again. You never know.
because I not to be like overly pessimistic, but I don't think it can. I think a lot of YouTube's more recent moves have been to benefit channels that are already winners at the expense of people that are trying to build up new content, unless you're willing to spend a shit ton of money advertising and working with YouTube and Google.
Yeah.
So, you know, for anyone who's trying to build up an organic YouTube channel on the cheap and they don't have some kind of funky gimmick or a celebrity or a tie-in to a channel who's already successful, it is exceedingly difficult to get a toehold with the way that they've been changing up their business model.
Yeah, I think one of the things that YouTube needs to look at, but as a company, they've never had this structure, is YouTube has never asked its fans what they want to even see in the first place. I mean, we know to a certain degree that YouTube is viral station, right? You know, people like to check out videos that are viral, that are cool. You know, that aspect should always be premium on YouTube. I get it, because that is the idea of what YouTube is to a certain degree. It's that wonder that, oh, check this new video out that somebody randomly put up. Wow, we get that. But also, when you now have structured content across the board from you know, beauty, tech, entertainment, how can you service that out while still mixing in certain things? The one thing they can mix in well is movie trailers. They've done that well. You know, there used to be specific sites for movie trailers. Now people just want to watch it on YouTube, and that's fine. That almost can slot itself as an entertainment segment, but they don't know how to mix in things properly and say it adds to all the different segments. It's more or less the saying, because they're paying us, this just goes in the front, and that's the end of it. So, you know,
I don't blame them for following the money. I don't knock that at all. I would be kind of worried if they weren't trying to follow the money to make more money to try to better the site. It's just that they need to figure out a way to not only follow that money, but make sure everything else benefits from gets a value add from whatever they're following. And then like you were just saying right there. And I think sometimes they don't quite understand how to value add something. But then again, I don't know. I don't know who goes to the trending pages. Like, who goes to that? Like last time I checked, like, for me, YouTube's page is pretty much designed for you to go to the homepage and click on what the hell's on that thing, and then maybe hit the subscription box when you look for somebody specific that you look in for specific people. But I feel like that trending box is a bit artificial.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I don't really think there's a lot of people that that I know of that hit that box. Usually whatever's trending is already probably showing up somewhere within your homepage anyways, if the algorithm is doing what it's supposed to do.
All right, so I'm going to go to my trending, and first on my trending is deleting my channel by a dude called PewDiePie.
Oh, the PewDiePie thing.
I have never subscribed to this dude.
Well, it's just
ever. I've never seen one of his videos.
He's also the biggest YouTuber. That's why.
Yeah, but the thing is that I have no interest whatsoever in PewDiePie. So why is he showing up on
because you watched other stuff? Because your algorithm says that you've watched other things that link to other things that say that PewDiePie might be of interest to you. That's why it shows up there.
Because for me, the other number 2, 3, and 4, even number 5, all make sense. First official trailer for Spider-Man. Yes, I would definitely like to see the trailer. War of the Planets of the Apes. Oh, yes, that's definitely me. I love watching trailers. The Fast and the Furious in theaters April 14th. Another trailer. I'm like, I watch a ton of trailers, so all of these make sense. And then I have Simon's Cat's Guide to Winter.
But this isn't based on any. This isn't based on anything that you watch. This is based.
This is just what's up on.
But this is like, all right, the consensus of what everyone's watching on YouTube and what people have paid for, whatever in the streams to get their shit boosted. This is what we see as the hot stuff that's happening on YouTube right now.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be interesting if that trending was more of, this is the hot stuff happening, but this is the hot stuff you should care about because it's based on stuff, it also aligns with stuff that you actually search for.
Right, because this is the big problem with social media in general right now.
But to them, in their mindset and definition, that is actually on the homepage under recommended. That's what that's supposed to be.
You see, for me, recommended.
I think the layout doesn't.
Watch this video.
I think layout doesn't do. I think the recommended should be its own tab, to be honest with you.
You see, for me, recommended is you watch this show with this person on it, and this person is on another show. We recommend you watch the same show, or this person endorsed someone else's show, or someone visited basically what's the perfect one? Who was it? Chelsea lately visited Trevor Noah. So recommended, I would expect recommended to be, hey, check out the Chelsea Lately show. wow, that to me is recommended. It shouldn't be trending at all. But
Yeah, I do agree, because I think Netflix does it well, Hulu does it well, Amazon does it well to a large degree. Granted, it's products, but
granted, that's a much smaller video base than what YouTube has.
That's true.
Yeah, but you don't have to recommend everything on God sent.
It's an algorithm. That's what I'm saying.
But it's an algorithm, and it's not just based just on you. It's based on you and people they think that are similar like you. That they say that they recommend these things within there. It's not necessarily. I don't want to say it's the most accurate, because it isn't. But that's kind of where they're going about it, because I think if they try to do the basic model of what Netflix and those places use, it wouldn't work right. If they try to use it based on likes and dislikes and ratings, we know that shit ain't gonna work right, because they did try to do it by that, and people usually like bomb or dislike bomb things, and it fucks up the algorithms. You have people that put fake views up because they go out there and buy this shit. So there's a lot of reasons why I think this is this way, because a lot of the typical barometers that you would typically use for algorithms can't be used on YouTube because they've been gamified.
Okay, on that note, guys, I think that's just the end of the show. Thank you everyone for commenting. Also, thank all the useless people who wrote useless stuff for watching, because you still helped us out anyway. And hopefully you learn how to change yourself, because you know what? Change is always good for the soul.
Yeah, I like watching live action stupid. You always learn something.
All right, now we get to the part of the show where we tell people what we currently have on our channels and what we can expect next week. And I'll start with you, Mr. Juan Bagnell from Pocket Now. What can we expect, and what do you have right now?
So what did we do this week, man? This week was kind of a blur. I did get, sorry, I had tried to start 3 different sentences all at the same time, and that failed. We finally got our Mate 9 camera review up. It was really upsetting because we had it all shot. I had the script written. We were starting to edit, and then Huawei pushed out a really massive update that kind of caused me to have to go back and reshoot the whole thing. So the real camera review was crazy late, but it's finally live now. And next week, we're going to be taking a look at all of our year-end top 5s. I'm going to be doing the top 5 cameras on smartphones of 2016 and the top 5 audio. So headphone and speaker phones of 2016. So those lists are always kind of fun because people get really cranky when their phone isn't on the list, but that's because it wasn't good enough and you should have gotten a better phone, and them's the breaks. So there you go.
Cool.
Deal with it. Need the shades.
Yeah.
Mr. Warren Bowman, what do you have on BW1 and what can we expect?
So that I've been doing a lot on the channel so far, besides stuff, has been, if anybody knows, playing a hell of a lot of Final Fantasy 15. Damn near every time I turn on the game, I stream. So you guys can watch me, from somebody that hasn't played Final Fantasy since 7, play this game at a more of a casual, I don't want to say fully novice, I kind of get the idea, but you'll see me, I'm not like an expert player, but it's been fun to play, and I've been live tuning in with a lot of people that have been coming in. So hopefully I'll be continuing to do that throughout the week. Plus getting some other videos I do need to get done here that I've got pieces that I just need to finish those up with. So expect some more next week.
All right, cool. Mr. Black Iron _man, I believe you have something.
Yeah, we just got the Huawei smartwatch in, so I'll be taking a look at that. And actually, I'm dressed to go on a run right after this with the device, so I'll give you guys my impression once that's done.
All right, cool.
And that is my cue, because cleaning is here and they're going to kick my ass. All right. Peace, guys.
All right. Bye. And on my end, I've been game tier for a while. I hurt my leg last week, so I haven't done much.
Oh, man, and a bomb.
Yeah, I know, right? God. We have our Axon 7 mini review. We did our unboxing and setup of Google Wi-Fi. Check that out if you're interested. It's really.
Now, did you do a mini review of the Axon 7, or did you do a full review of the Axon 7 mini? Boom!
What?
No, just because it's Axon 7 mini review, and it sounded like you meant like
no. I just looked at the title and I actually just got confused myself after you said that. Because I was like, was that a mini review? Or, no, it wasn't real. Thanks, Juan. You just threw me off completely. But no, it was a full review of the Access 7 Mini. And also, we got the Oculus Touch controllers. Set it up and did a quick review of it. I like it. Doesn't have the range of distance as Vive because Vive puts the sensors wirelessly. Oculus are right in front on my table right here, the two sensors, but the controllers have some really great range of motion. Like I said, you know, they tell you to, when you're playing football, open up your hands and then hike, and it's a really nice feel when you get those little controls in there. Your fingers can point, you can do certain finger gestures. No, you can't do that gesture, not this one. So but it's fun to use. And next week, and I think to Juan's point, I may not be able to do my top 5s for the year. I mean, I might do it after Christmas, I think, because I still have stuff to review.
Yeah, no, I mean, like this year, I'm looking at a review schedule that's going to take me right into CES. And now we're going to have to start it all over again. Like, we're not going to get really any time off except for a couple days around New Year's.
Yeah, I have a Lenovo all-in-one gaming PC with a GTX 1080 built into it. So that's coming up next week, as well as also I'm getting the Dell Precision laptop. And then I have a high-end pair of headphones to review for those who love high-end audio. So at least I'll try and bang those out next week. And then it will be Christmas, and then it'll be CS.
Awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, on that note, want to say thank you very much.
What about the brand new Booredatwork.com?
Oh, no, it's not finished yet. That's why it's still a few things. That's why I didn't mention it. The site is
thanks, Warren. Thanks for nothing.
You can check it out now. A lot of the things are updated on the site, but a few things need to be fixed. That will be going up. But you know what? It'll be January 1st. Just make it easy.
Allegedly.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean,
wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed. But yeah, and again, I want to say thank you to everyone. We should have one more show next week, and we will have. Do we have a show time before CES or no?
There'll be there's Christmas Eve and then there's New Year's Eve, the next 2 Saturdays after next week.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we could do a short show next week if you guys want to. I don't know.
We can try to put one together. Let's see if we can't discuss that
throughout the week
calendar. Yeah. So next couple days.
New Year's Eve, is that possible, guys, or no? Oh, we can.
If it's during the day, probably I could.
Oh.
I don't know. It depends on what people are doing. That could work possibly. That's probably a little bit easier. That's probably maybe a little bit easier than Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I think that's easier.
I don't think I'd be able to do Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so at this point, guys, there'll be no show next week. There will be.
There is going to be a show next week. Because the 17th is next week.
You are right.
2 weeks.
Yeah, sorry, 2 weeks. No show Christmas Eve. There will be a show.
That's cool. It's cool. Talking Barbie once told me that math is hard. So that's the jam.
I feel like throwing a phone at you through my monitor, but it's not going to hit. So
yeah,
I'll wait to see you at CES.
I'll be like, hey, what's up? And you're just going to whip a phone at my head. And I'm not even going to know why. I'll have already forgotten about this, but you hold a grudge. So it's cool.
And we will do our last giveaway for the year. We didn't do one last month. It's just been crazy, and we'll do it for you guys. So stay tuned on the 31st. So we'll have 2 more shows left, the 17th and the 31st of the year. I want to say thank you to everyone. Definitely check out all the channels. Check out Mr. Juan Bagnell at Pocket Now. This way you can find all his in-depth videos, in-depth camera reviews. The guy goes in-depth. I mean, deep. You can also check out some other stuff from him that are not Pocket Now related at Some Gadget Guy on YouTube. His Twitter handle is Some Gadget Guy. And Mr. Warren Bowman from BW1.com. You can check it out at BW1.com. He's daily Final Fantasy live streams. Pretty good stuff.
attempting to not suck at the game.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely check that out and see how well he fares in the game, and also subscribe to his channel, and that is also his Twitter handle, bw1.com. Myself, it is Bored at Work on YouTube and Twitter. If you also want to with 2 O's, yes, 2 O's. And if you want to follow Sam on Twitter, his handle is blackiron_man. And from us here, we say thank you very much and always enjoy your entertainment.
Bam.